Fast food employees of Reddit, is there a menu item that you dread making? Used to work at a Pizza Hut. Cheesy bites were the most hated thing in the kitchen. Same. I was working 2 jobs at one point while working at Pizza Hut and hadn't slept in 30-ish hours and was just about to punch out when my manager told me to prep 10 of those suckers before I left. I ended up breaking one of our cutting rings because I was slamming it so hard. When I worked at a Burger King, this one massive dude with a dyed black ponytail in a leather duster would come in and place this disgusting order. A Whopper with 4 to 5 patties depending on how he was feeling, with cheese between each patty, with double bacon on top. The employees even named it after him. They called it Roken's Heart Attack. Truly legendary. You could barely close the box. Remind me to do this next time I go to Burger King. Former Starbucks employee. Frappuccinous for sure. Had a friend that said she always heard the request in slow motion for a brief moment, like the peak moment of fear in a horror film. I am not an employee, but one time I was ordering at a Wendy's drive-thru and I tacked on a baked potato at the end of my order. A younger employee operating the call box asked if that concluded the order. As she was saying this, I hear an older woman in the background scream, "No potato." And I say, "Are you sure about that potato?" She says, "Sorry about that, we have potatoes." I say, No, it's okay. I don't want the potato anymore." She goes, "Mom, we have potatoes. We are happy to make you a baked potato." Then I hear it again, louder this time. No potato. Apparently Wendy's is anti-potato. I did not order the potato. No potato. Only burger. I used to work at Burger King. I hated making veggie burgers. First off, it's not broiled. It's microwaved and the smell lingers for at least 10 minutes after. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. Really sorry. I'm vegetarian and those burgers are amazing and have saved me from having a boring meal of fries or salad when I've forgotten my lunch. Sorry again and thank you. Chipotle definitely quiceritis when that fad hit took forever and very hard to roll. Also, burritos with extra meat and lots of salsa. Horrible. It always baffles me when I'm in line and see someone want extra whatever on their burrito and look irritated when the burrito master can't roll it well. Like there's portions for a reason. It isn't a never-ending tortilla. Jeesh. Used to work at Pizza Hut. I left shortly after the 4 for all came to be. The idea was it's a square pizza that fits in the same box as a regular medium, but it consists of 4 thin crust personal pizzas. You ended up with 16 tiny slices that don't like to stay together, and they were a bee to get cut and into the box looking halfway decently. Not to mention they took longer to prep cause they always had 4 different topping combinations. Former Dairy Queen employee here, and I gotta say it was the banana split blizzard with chocolate sauce, crushed pineapple in juice, and strawberries and syrup in it. It was dang near impossible to flip at the best of times. When I worked at Mellow Mushroom, I freaking hated making gluten-free pizza. You leave the floor to go to the freezer. There's so much crap you have to do for it, it's a real B. Haha, I've worked at Mellow for a couple years. Gluten suck. Although when we get slammed and have a bunch of tickets, I don't mind stepping off the line and taking my time on a gluten. I work at an ice cream shop and by far the worst item to make is any shake with fruit in it. 90% of what we make is shakes and malts and we clean the machine in between every single item. The fruit sauce you put in shakes is very sticky and stains anything it touches. Also, if you mix too fast the ice cream and fruit goes everywhere. I must clean that machine literally hundreds of times a day. My friend who works at an ice cream shop told me I'd never get a milkshake from her. I understand why now. Bowls at Jamba Juice. Those and the cold press juices were the worst when I worked there. We had a regular who would come in daily for 3 bowls and 2 of the juices for his co-workers and himself. Such a nice guy, but Jesus, I hated seeing him come in. I worked at Hooters for 6 years and I about cried when we introduced hard liquor and we got an Island Oasis. Probably the most pain in the butt blended drink system. Then we'd get crap like I would like a frozen strawberry daiquiri but on the rocks. It was straight up thick syrupy crap that had to be blended. I do not miss that job. I used to go into Subway after every paycheck from when I worked at McDonald's and order the same thing. Still love this sandwich but I'm not sadistic. Used to do a meatball marinara on flatbread toasted. After about the 3rd-5th time they said it was a pain in the butt to make because meatball and flatbread just doesn't fold together well, so I stopped lol. I realize it isn't very doable, but it's kinda crappy of them to tell you that. If you complained about the quality of your sandwich I get it, but having worked in the food industry I don't think it's appropriate to tell someone their order is annoying to make. I wanna hear from a McDonald's employee because I always get dirty looks when I order their filet-o-fish. Try making 22 quarts of ranch dressing sometime. You will never ever eat it again. Used to do this all the time in high school. Never bothered me and I still love ranch dressing. Now making 10 gallons of tapioca pudding from scratch is a different story. Frick pudding. I had lots of people order pretzels with no butter and still wanted the salt or cinnamon sugar when I worked at Target. They got crappy when the toppings didn't stick. You ordered with without the crap that makes it stick. Frick, more than happy to serve it nude or just buttered, but I couldn't make the toppings stick without the butter. Work at a pizza place. The meat lover's pizza is the worst. It takes forever to make. The oil from the meat becomes a splattery hot oil mess when you cut the slices. It's heavy as heck. Frick that pizza. When I worked at Pizza Hut years ago we had a regular customer who always ordered a cheese lover's pizza with double extra cheese. As I recall it's something like 7-8 layers of cheese. We had to send it through the oven twice just to cook the cheese all the way through. Talk about a greasy mess. Former KFC employee. Snackers. They weren't hard to make, but making them repeatedly makes your hands and wrists sore after a while. Even Marizo when someone old come in and make a large snacker order. My record. 50 snackers in one order. 50 snackers. That's no snack. My friend works at Jamba Juice and fervently tells everyone she knows not to order Ake bowls because of how much work she has to do to make them. Which, of course, leads to all of us ordering exactly that. When I was a teenager, I worked in the fast food area at Target. I liked it because only one person worked there at a time. No real oversight from a supervisor. But there was one problem with the job. The hot dogs. The hot dogs were constantly cooking on this rolling grill. There were cooking instructions of how long they had to be there before they could be eaten, and how long they could stay there until they had to be thrown out. However, there was no indication of how long a hot dog had been cooking. If I came in on the afternoon shift, there would already be hot dogs on the grill for an undetermined amount of time. Also, as somebody who didn't eat hot dogs, I didn't really know what they were supposed to look like when they were done, so I constantly worried that I was giving people undercooked or overcooked hot dogs. I mean, not worried enough to actually do anything about it, of course. Just worried enough to mention it on Reddit 14 years later. Wraps. Been working at McDonald's for just over 2 years, and I'm always ruining the wraps. Either the wrap breaks, or the side that's meant to be folded is unfolded and explodes in the box. 7-11 Night Clark here. Not so much about what, but when. You see, as a completely unsupervised minimum wage employee, my night is pretty much split between reading Russian literature in the back, playing Debunk the Conspiracy Theory with M-heads, and practicing helicopters in the bathroom mirror. However, there's a point in the night where I'm like alright, it's go time, to get everything finished before morning. So if you come in between 4 am 5 am to order some hot food with a longer cook time like pizza or chicken wings, since that's my last chance to get stuff done before coffee rush hits, you'll annoy me. It's my own fault for freaking around all night and not getting this stuff done an hour ago, but you'll still annoy me. Also melts. It's no big deal, but it's kinda hard to get those things into the sleeves without burning your fingers. Or maybe I'm doing it wrong. Shrug. When I worked at Dairy Queen I dreaded making smoothies. Oh, there's a line out the door and you and your family each want 4 different kinds of smoothies, then want to get mad at me when it takes 10 minutes to put your order together? Baconator fries of our fruity chillers, unless we have bacon pre-cut up. Wendy's. Took me way too long to realize you meant or instead of. I kept reading that sentence, but I just couldn't get it to make sense in my head. MCD, if anything, unsalted fries or Rolo flurries, but I work counter. Your flurry machine is always broken anyway. I work at Chipotle, and kids' meals are the freaking worst. Not even because of the kids, if a kid is actually going to receive the meal, It's usually pretty simple. Chicken, flour tortilla, cheese and white rice. But that never happens. The only people who order kids meals are the adults who are bitter about how much Chipotle costs. So they try and cheat using the kids meal. Which is freaking annoying as heck. Because as I'm sure you know, it's always easier to give people stuff than to argue. But like, god dang. It's clearly posted you only get 2 sides. While do people always ask for more? Why? And why are they always so freaking confused angry when I tell them it'll be charged more? Honestly, this happens 20 times a day. Easy. And I freaking hate it. Just pay for your food. Frick. If you don't wanna pay a lot, go eat at McDonald's, you sucker. I worked at a popular local ice cream chain, and while I didn't ever have a problem doing it, it was several complete B to serve someone with an allergy. You have to take the board off, wash and sanitize it with fresh basins, do the same with your scoop spades, get a new tub of the flavor out, and hack a piece out of the frozen solid block of dessert. God forbid they want a crush-in, too. It's just not gonna work right unless the ice cream is the right state, and super solid, ain't it? Oh, also, whenever someone wanted banana chopped into their ice cream, especially in the summer, the banana makes the ice cream really runny, so you have to put the exact amount that won't ruin it and simultaneously won't make the customer watching you feel cheated. And if it's summer, forget it entirely. You have about 1 minute to do the entire ice cream procedure on a hot day, and with banana in the mix, it's just impossible. Unless you want a cup of mostly ice cream slime. Worked as a pot washer, and the chefs always used to make the mains as big as possible so that customers were less likely to order desserts. For me, chopped salads at Subway, it disrupts the flow cause I have to go in the back and get the chopper, and plus, why do you want your food to look like vomit? Gross. I work at Arby's. Go in and ask for a meat mountain and see how many dirty looks you get. Former Panera employee. I was always in charge of making sandwiches, and my least favorite sandwich was the turkey avocado BLT. Oh my god, frick that sandwich. Because you have to put 0.8 ounces of turkey on it, plus the veggies on a tiny piece of sourdough bread. And every sandwich was made using the pieces separately, so one slices had veggies, the other meat. Putting that sandwich together was a nightmare because half the ingredients would fall out. I don't miss that sandwich. Shudders. I knew some people who worked for McDonald's. By far the most hated item to make is the big breakfast with hotcakes. One of my best friends, who speaks Spanish fluently, was married to a Hispanic man and has a half Hispanic daughter, became the biggest sectarian on Sundays because all the Catholic Hispanic families would get out of church, head straight to McDonald's, and order a dozen big breakfasts with hotcakes for themselves and their 10 children. Does putting together a Happy Meal count? If there was one thing I hated seeing up on my screen, it was a Happy Meal. Taco John's, stuffed grilled tacos or donut bites. Not me, but my friend. Basically, at this local sports bar, you can get this huge burger, and it's called the Big Johnson now. It's called that for a reason. It's about as big as someone's head, and it barely fit on a plate, so they have to use a pizza tray. It has everything you can think of on it, from french fries, to coleslaw, to even fricking onion rings. This fricking burger is a monster. My friend asked his boss if he was allowed to show me how they make them, and Jesus Christ almighty, that burger takes so much effort to make. It's unbelievable. I think I ordered it a while back, and someone took a picture of me with it, so if I can find that image, I'll post it. Basically, what I'm trying to get at here is that this burger is a living fricking nightmare to make. I've never known I wanted something so much before. Making a salad at Subway is tedious as heck. I worked at McDonald's for a month. Yes, I lasted that long, and I hated the filet-o-fish. I once worked on a Saturday night, which happened to be the end of Ramadan. Crap loads of hungry Muslims ordering either veggie burgers or fish. The fish has to be cooked to order, the bread is steamed, takes forever. Also, for your information, the grilled chicken is actually frozen, defrosted crap that I wouldn't let a dog eat. Same for the bacon. Work at Arby's, and there is a secret menu item called the Meat Mountain. Literally every single type of meat that we have in the store goes on one sandwich. Takes a good 5 minutes to make. We get those brave teenagers late at night that like to order them. I'm an Olive Garden server. The dang unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks deal. It's the absolute worst. Entitled customers wanting refills after refills with no tomatoes and dressing on the side and breadsticks without salt and soup with extra gnocchi balls. I'm there busting my butt for you while I have 3 other tables. And the deal is inexpensive, so even 20% tips are terribly low. I can't bring myself to feel bad. Bring on the gnocchi. KFC cook here. Nothing in particular is really hard to make, since I make huge amounts of each product, and when I see a tray getting low I have plenty of time to get the food cooking. That being said, large orders close to closing time make me seriously consider bashing your head in with a drop hook. If your local store closes at 10, don't go in at 9:45 and ask for 30 pieces of chicken. And even worse, don't ask for it to be fresh. YC, in order to get my close done, I have to start packing stuff away a few hours before. By 9:30, I have packed away all of my cooking gear, and it's being washed. If you order food, I have to finish washing it, lug it all out, set up my stuff again and some sort of crude makeshift contraption, bread it up, then put it in a cooker for longer than you're willing to wait. Then I have to wash and clean every damn dish or surface that even got a speck of flour in it. That being said, if you call a few hours before ordering a large meal, you're totally fine, and we'll thank you for giving us time to get ready. Current McDonald's employee here. Frick wraps, especially steak ones. Chick-fil-A here, up front. Making the frosted lemonade more often than not pisses me off because the amount of lemonade we have to put in makes it watery and tends to spray out of the cup all over me when I spin it. I then have to wipe it, and myself, off, in the kitchen. Any of the salads with something removed. We normally have the salads pre-made and we just have to put chicken on the top. But if someone doesn't want, say, cheese, we have to make a new salad. Also, not everything is normally grilled. If you want your strips grilled, you best be prepared to wait 10 minutes. We have to take the normal strips and grill them. It's a giant pain. I hate making hot sandwich bread at the local chain I'm the baker for because the dough is stupidly sticky and we only have a small grilled cheese maker to bake the suckers off with. Not a menu item, rather an order. At the pizza place I worked at, if you phoned up and asked for a custom pizza and ordered with a credit card and a coupon, you were the bane of my existence. Taking cards over the phone makes me hate my job. You have been visited by the chunk of good fortune. Like this post to enable good fortune for 26 minutes. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check out another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.